So good morning, everybody. My name is Edgar Valdez. This is Matthew Silva, and that's Eric Paredes. And today we will be presenting our senior capstone project titled Low-Cost Hyperspectral Imaging for UAVs. So as y'all may know, California is in a major drought. Farmers are doing their part by reducing unnecessary irrigation.
Our accidents still tend to happen. These are caused by either human error or equipment malfunctions.
The image to the left shows an equipment malfunction, that pipe. Technologies, like the one on the right, has been developed to assist farmers in remotely monitoring their crops and water levels. The issue with technologies like that is that they come at a high price and they require the user to become a skilled pilot.
So the main goal of our project is to develop a low-cost hyperspectral UAV that can monitor and retrieve useful data from large agricultural fields using a micro-electromechanical battery pro interferometer, or MEMS FPI for short. UAVs outfitted with a hyperspectral camera can provide us with information like fertilizer levels, hydration levels, and even crop health from a perspective that's not easily accessible. We also want the system to be as user-friendly as possible. On the left, you can see a MEMS FPI, and on the right is our octocopter, and below that is an example of a survey field with an area of about 9,000 square meters.
So in order to accomplish our goal, we split the project into three core components. The first component was developing the optical system for the UAV, and we use, as Matt mentioned, the MEMS FPI, and along with a base or ACE camera. We then moved on, or the second core component is the octocopter, and having that be fully autonomous. We prototyped with quadcopters and then scaled it up to the octocopter. And the final core component was the integration of these two units together to create an autonomous unit able to take hyperspectral images during autonomous flight. As you can see, this is our high-level block diagram of our project. We have a 3-axis gimbal to ensure that the cameras are always pointing down towards the Earth, regardless of the orientation of the copter. We have the Pixel flight controller that takes care of the navigation for the octocopter, and the base station to allow us to monitor the copter while in flight.
So because our project was spanned over 2 quarters, we broke our project up into 2 major parts. And for the first part, we aimed for a fully autonomous quadcopter. And the reason why we wanted to use a quadcopter is to prototype, because we as a group had no prior experience flying UAVs. So during the first part of our project, we were able to make our quadcopter land, take off, and even survey an area all autonomously. And we were able to make it do autonomous missions. So during these autonomous missions, we were able to collect and gather images of a farm or an area, and then we were able to produce a stitched map. On the left, you can see our version 2 of our quadcopter, and below that is our version 3. And to the right is our stitched map of the UCSC farm, consisting of 43 individual images.
So after we got the quadcopter running autonomously, we moved on to the optical system to ensure that that was fully functional. Once we had that, we moved on to the octocopter and had that be fully autonomous as well. Once these two were working, we integrated the two into one fully autonomous unit. We took that unit out to the UCSC farm and flew it over a field. With the images gathered, we wish to produce a normalized difference vegetation index, or NDVI for short, with the images collected. So the image to the left is our octocopter as a fighter iteration. We have the optical system below, as you can see right there. This is an example of what we wish to reproduce with our octocopter. The top left picture, the true color, is an image that you can collect with any type of camera, such as a GoPro. We then have the red band and the near infrared band images. Using the MEMS FPI, you can tune out light waves and only allow the ones you want to see through. So red band being the 700 nanometer and the near infrared band being the 1000 nanometer. By applying image processing, you can produce an NDVI image, and images labeled as high, so these white spots, are areas that have healthy vegetation compared to these dark spots that there we go. So these dark spots are unhealthy vegetation. And as you can see, it's much clearer to the someone seeing the image which areas are healthy compared to the true color image.
So as a result of our senior design project, we were able to have our octocopter fly autonomously over the UCSC farm. We are working on developing the NDVI of the images collected at the UCSC farm. To the left is the bottom left is a video of the GoPro camera on board the UAV, while the background shows the UAV completing its autonomous flight. Remember that all we did was plan the mission, flipped on a switch, and the UAV flew by itself. Thank you for your time.
Explain why you decided to go from a quadcopter to an octocopter
So,
instead of just staying with the quad.
so a quadcopter, we have a lot of payload like camera systems and our mini desktop computer, and our quadcopter doesn't have the payload capacity to carry it. And also, we wanted to use a quadcopter for prototyping because it's a smaller portable platform, and it's also cheaper if you break it to replace it.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Yes?
We use the Pixar flight controller. Want to go more into that, Matt?
So we use Mission Planner, and that is the interface that we use, or the GUI that we use to plan missions. And so we load waypoints into this flight controller, and it automatically knows where it needs to be in space. So we send it GPS coordinates, and it has to like follow the path to these waypoints.
Thank you.
Thank you.